What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel and the second round of the Nations Cup here. We're jumping right into it. Right off the bat, I actually get quite a good launch here. So good, in fact, that I could have sworn I was going to get a penalty. So I momentarily was able to pass the American in second place, but he ended up getting the inside on me and maintained his position. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of cars. I expected a lot of casualties in that first corner, but looks like no one was taken out, and we have quite a long list of cars behind me. As the Canadian behind me really wants to get in front of me. He ends up actually rear-ending me, and unfortunately I ended up going straight into the back of the American, who then goes into the back of the car in front of him, and unfortunately they both receive a penalty. It looks like the American gets a 1 second and the Mexican gets a half-second penalty, but unfortunate. Don't believe me, I did receive front and rear damage, so that proves that he did in fact rear-end me, causing this. So quite the aggressive start there from Jack Rabbit, as he effectively screws over first and second place, and he is going to effectively get into first once these two up here serve their penalty. So what's interesting to me about this race is that I firmly believe it's a race about strategy as opposed to skill. I mean, obviously you still need a bit of skill to keep up in the race, but I do think strategy plays a key factor in this race. So you may have been able to tell there that I opted to start the race on the hard tires, and my thought process was, I'll go on the first stint hard and switch over to the softs in the last ladder of the race, and pick up my pace. So my goal here in the early stages of the race is just to keep up with everyone here, because I'm pretty confident that a lot of these guys started the race on softs, and I can kind of confirm this because Jack Rabbit here is slowly pulling away from me. I'm getting a lot of pressure from the guys behind me, and there's a Viper behind me, which was actually quite nice to see. A little bit different from the regular M6s that everyone chose. So people behind me are in the softs. Jack Rabbit had me on the softs, so it's going to be hard to maintain my position here. Interestingly enough, I leave it in 5th down the straight because I do think I gain a bit more speed. I saw Digits, I don't know if you guys are aware of him, but he was doing this race. He stayed in 5th, and he actually proved that if he went into 6th, he actually ended up going slower. So stayed in 5th throughout the back straight there, maintained my speed, and like I said, my main goal in the first couple of laps here is just to keep up, not fall too far behind everyone in this race. But of course, that's easier said than done here. As you can see again, Jack Rabbit pulling away, the Viper really on my ass here. Tries to look on the inside there, I think. I ended up overshooting that braking zone quite a bit, giving him quite an easy pass into second place there. So giving up some positions, but I'm still pretty much where I started off in the race. I qualified 3rd, which is great. Still in 3rd. But I think at this point, I realized that I'm going to end up losing quite a bit of positions here to the guys in the soft tires behind me. So I don't want to ruin their race too much, but I also don't want to give in. So just trying to battle forward, stay in the race, just until I can pit over and change over to the softs, as the Canadian and the American behind me go side by side into that first corner. Always a bit tricky. So we're going to approach the chicane here, and the chicane always gets people out of whack here, as the Viper doesn't get a clean run on it. Looks like he tried to swerve back, and I went on the outside of him. He had to swerve back again, so a little messy on the chicane there, costing him a position, but again, he's on the softs. I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to keep up with me. As you can see, he's right on my ass there again, right in that braking zone. He can brake so much later than I can on the softs. I apologize for my voice and the sniffling here. I am battling a cold here, unfortunately. And my biggest struggle here in this race was keeping the back end in check. So you can see in that corner there, the back end did come out. And again, Viper over here, trying to go on the outside. He's really fighting hard to get past me here. So give him the inside. He takes it. Again, not trying to ruin his race. He's clearly got the pace on me. So give him the space. Let him go forward, and now I have another set of people in the softs behind me, so Never-ending battle here, as I unfortunately go a little wide here. I don't think that's going to get me a penalty. But did cost me a precious few seconds as the M6 behind me looks to go up the inside. You know, I'm going to go defensive here, stay on the inside, but it wasn't enough as he was able to go on the outside of me, and now the other M6, I think the American behind me, got a much better exit than I did. Yeah, I think he's effectively he was side by side, but I'm not too sure what happened. He must have cut in behind me, but approaching the chicane here again. I cut that first half a little too much and unfortunately get that 1 second penalty, and at this point I know I'm screwed. I'm going to lose so much time to the group that I'm in here right now, so I'm going to drop at least one position. I'm going to lose the slipstream. I'm going to lose a lot of space here, unfortunately. Yes, again, shake and bake. Nice name there. It goes on the inside and catches me out. So I'm going to serve my penalty. I'm definitely going to lose a position to Jonas in 6th. And now we have another group approaching me. So we're going to skip ahead to lap number 4. As you can see, quite a group behind me as the Canadian tries to go up the inside, realizes there's not much space there, cuts back in. And all that was very distracting for me, so I ended up going quite wide on the exit there, and I'm pretty sure that's going to get me the infamous half-second penalty. So all this pressure is clearly getting to me, not able to get as clean of a race as I would like. So skipping ahead to where I serve the penalty, lose my position to the American, and as you can see, the Canadian behind me really wants that space. Again, he's on the softs, I'm on the hards. As the back end kicks out there, really had a hard time keeping the back end in check here. So we're approaching the front straight here, and again, the Canadian gets the inside on me. He's going to let him by because I'm not sure. I know he's clearly faster. He's got the pace on me, so it's letting him by. He cuts forward a little aggressively, I might add, but you know, he gave me the space to continue on the outside. He gets the space. So now we're fast forwarding here to the end of lap number 6. I make a choice here, and in retrospect, a very poor choice, to go and change my tires over to the softs. I figured at the time of this race I'm losing a lot of time. I think the softs will last me a while, and so I got a little impatient and went to full kill mode, full on the softs here. So I dropped to 13th place because of that pit stop, but now people are either on their hard tires or very worn soft tires, so I figured I can gain a lot of ground here and potentially put myself in a nice little position here. So coming out here on the end of lap 7, catch up to 2 M6s, 2 Americans ahead of me here, and like I said, I'm pretty sure at this point they're on worn softs, so I have the pace here. I'll look to get up on the inside here, which Black Gordon effectively cuts me off, so that's fine. But he runs a little wide, and now, at least for me at least, I'm in the slipstream here, so I'm gonna gain a couple of seconds on them. I hope to outbrake them in the chicane because of my much superior grip at this point. And as you can see on the chicane here, I did have to slow down a bit more than I would like, but at the end of it here, Black Gordon goes quite a bit wide. He leaves the inside open for me. I capitalized. Not enough to overtake him, but I do a little switcheroo there. Cut from the outside back to the inside. He runs wide again, and that gives me 12th, no 11th. And now I have my eyes set firmly on the other American in front of me. And so with my fresh tires, I can brake a lot harder than him. I actually looked to go on the outside here, but not realized I have no room here. So, stupid mistake by me, got dirty tires, and I believe, yep, I got another half-second penalty for going on the outside onto grass for absolutely no reason. Quite mad at myself here, but like I said, I have the superior pace at this point, so coming out of this corner, I got a much better run at him. Got the inside. I'm going to squeeze him out on the inside and take 10th quite cleanly there. Halfway through the race here, start lap 9, you can see we got 2 cars exiting the pit, and the American in front of me in the M6 got the 3-second penalty for cutting across the solid line there. So that's unfortunate for him, but we reunite with my buddy in the Viper ahead of me as the car, but the penalty quite nicely moves over for me. So I got the American in tow here. I know he has a bit of, he's had trouble in the past with the chicane, and he does it again. You know, not the cleanest of runs there. I slip on by quite easily, and I move up to 6th place. So started lap number 11. Again, we got Shake and Bake in front of us. Another car coming out of the pit lane. Presumably he went onto the softs as well. What should have been my strategy, I should have pitted him on the hards around here, but you know, as these two go side by side, I'm hoping they'll make my life easier by fighting each other and making clearer room for me. It doesn't quite work out that way, as I brake a little early just to give myself and them some space. We both take the chicane nicely, so nice little train going on between 5, 4, and 3 here. Now Jonas, I'm sure, has the much fresher sauce, as my softs I can see are eroding here. I'm just hoping they'll make it to the end. Shake and Bake ends up going a little bit wide, gets a little bit of dirt, so now he has a little bit of dirty tires to contend with. So as they go side by side into this corner, and they get pushed a little wide there, so I see a little opportunity to go up the inside. Don't quite take full advantage, and they're side by side again coming down this back straight here. Not sure what's going to happen at the next braking zone, but it looks like the American brakes a little too late, and I was able to get up the inside, overtake him, and now it's going to be really hard to overtake Jonas here with the fresh softs. I'm on well-worn softs here, but don't have to contend with the American behind me. I think he's on the hard, so I still have to pace on him. And it's going to be a little battle here between me and Jonas for third place. So skipping ahead to lap 14, still in third, but as you can see, that front left tire is hanging on for dear life here. I do have 2nd place, our old friend Jack Rabbit, with the very aggressive start getting the race in sight here. I'm thinking I might be able to catch him up. It's going to be really hard, especially with that front left tire, but unfortunately for me, I'm not going to get the opportunity here, because as we approach the back straight here, Benny the Racer unfortunately brakes way too late and ends up sending me straight into the wall, ruining my race. He does get served with the 4-second penalty, which is a little bit of consolation for me, but I was never really truly able to recover, and unfortunately finished in a very disappointing 12th in that first stint. He did apologize to me later on, so I guess it's not all that bad. So we're actually going to skip ahead to my 2nd attempt at this race. Qualified terribly here in 8th, but I was able to get an amazing start again, and I was able to jump a couple of positions here, but coming up to the first corner, get sandwiched between this McLaren and another BMW here, so backed off slightly. Didn't want to ruin my race in the very first corner, so still maintained 7th, but as quickly as that McLaren came out of nowhere, he very quickly faded. As I'm not too sure what happened there. He braked in the middle of the chicane, which is not something you want to do, and I zoom on by him. But this race was pretty stagnant at this point, so I'm going to skip ahead to lap number 5 here. And as you can see, people are starting to pit again for their softs, so I was able to maintain 7th with my hard tires again, just going with the same strategy, and I was actually able to move all the way up to 3rd with everyone pitting. And I have this other BMW behind me, Matty, the Canadian, giving me a lot of pressure here. He really wanted 3rd place here, so gonna have to contend with him. And at this point in the race, I was also convinced it was gonna be Matty and I here battling our way, both on hard tires, all the way to the end when we pit, because he was able to keep up with me, I was able to keep up with him. So I didn't think he was on any worn softs, but he was trying everything to get past me here. He actually ends up getting the inside on me as we approach the back straight here, so conceded the position to him there. So I'm just going to pull in the slipstream here behind him as we approach the corner here. I end up braking way too late, but able to salvage a little bit of it and not make a complete mess of it here. And so lost a little bit of time there, but again, this is a race, in my opinion, of attrition, not really a sprint, so just going to play this out. My hards still have a good amount of life left in them, so I'm hoping I can get another couple of laps in before I go to the softs. I'm in 4th, which is great because, like I said, I qualified pretty terribly in 8th, so I'm going to move up to third here as another player pits with their soft tires. So we're actually going to skip ahead to lap number 9 here, and this is where I pit. I'm in second place here, Maddie's in first, and much to my surprise, when he ends up pitting, he was actually on the softs the entire time, which absolutely blew my mind because I didn't think the softs would be able to last effectively 9 laps and for him to maintain that pace. So kudos to him. It was really impressive, but you know, he's going to be going on the the hard tires now as I get a fresh pair of softs. So it's going to be really difficult for him to keep up with me and to keep up with the pace here. So with this pit stop, I effectively fall down to 9th with about 5 laps-ish, 4.5 laps to make up about 6 positions here. So got my work cut out for me, but I'm pretty confident with these softs I'm going to make up the time. So caught up to this group here, a whole bunch of them, as the BMW unfortunately here loses control and ends up in the wall. I end up getting the inside on my old buddy here, Matty, who gives me a little bump there for whatever reason, but got the inside on him, able to brake much later than him, and there's really nothing you can do about it. I'm on fresh softs, on the hards. He's just going to lose that grip battle. So got 2 positions there. I have this group ahead of me here that I'm fairly confident I'll be able to catch up with again because they're on the hards, I'm on the fresh softs, so pace is not going to be an issue for me. So in the chicane here, this Canadian opens up the door for me on the inside. I squeeze on through, and that takes 5th place for me, and now I have this GTR here in my sights. Just gonna let this play out for a little bit here. As we approach the back straight here, as you can see, the Lexus up ahead goes a little wide, and the GTR here loses all kinds of whack. And unfortunate for me, I didn't really have enough time to react there. I ended up giving him a little push and sending him straight into the wall, which is quite unfortunate, but like I said, there wasn't really much time for me to do much of anything. He was going to lose it regardless, so if anything, I helped accelerate the fact. But luckily for me, I didn't get any penalty. I did get front bumper damage, but damage I think was set to light on this one, so it should heal up over time. So my efforts and my sight are solely on the Lexus ahead of me in 3rd place, which is very much in my grasp here. So approaching that same back straight where the incident happened a couple of minutes ago, we are going to brake way late, get right up in his ass here. He touches grass. He actually almost loses it, but 1, he held it, and 2, I didn't rear-end him straight into oblivion, so that helps on both fronts. But I was able to get the inside, sneak on by him, and with a couple of laps left, I have 2nd place in thought. As you can see, there's quite a big gap between myself and 2nd place, but there's about 2.5 laps left in the race. I think I might be able to catch up here. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go to the last lap of the race, and as you can see, 2nd place is within sight. I did close the gap quite significantly. I think at this point he was like 2 or 3 seconds ahead of me. I was confident that I might be able to catch him up. The question is, was I going to be able to? So as we're approaching the back straight here, at this point I don't think I'm going to be able to catch him. I'm just hoping that he either messes up and spins out or some miracle happens, but unfortunately for me, none of these things happened. He was able to coast to the end of the race here. I do think if I had a couple more laps I would have caught him, but I end up in 3rd place, which is very satisfying. I qualified 8th, and after the last race I really was hoping for a great result, and 3rd place, I'll take it. Funny enough, I ended with more points here than my last win, so odd how that happens. But thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you thought of the race, and I'll catch you next time.